Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz, and I have a cold, so we're just going to get started. This is episode 139 of What's in My Tumbler, and we're starting with Sardonyx, that is in stage 1 still. I don't think this is going to be in stage 1 for too much longer. At some point, it's just going to be negative returns of waiting for the last few rocks to be ready. There's really only about 5 or 6 of the Sardonyx actually in here, I think. There's not, most of this is filler quartz, and so it's just sort of hanging out and serving a purpose of making sure my barrel is full enough. So, this is probably going to start moving into stage 2 soon. I don't know when, but I am being patient and trying to make sure that things are actually ready. I'm trying something new. You'll see with the Amethyst and the Unakite when we get there. Um, that I think is maybe going to help with identifying rocks that are actually ready to move on. I did actually, so following up from last week, I got the post office sent me an email to let me know that I'm expecting a package on Saturday from California. I'm assuming that is going to be my competition rocks. So that's exciting. Saturday doesn't give me a whole lot of time to pre-process them, but I might have some time on Sunday to do a pre-grind on anything that might need it. But that'll be fun. Depending on when I get the rocks on Saturday, I might be able to do something Saturday. But I probably won't film any of the pre-grinding stuff. I'll just show the actual tumbling. But anyway, so that's the Sardonyx. I added some more filler to it, some more quartz to top that up, and then that's ready to go. Now we have the MozAg or Mozambique agate. This is also in stage 1. Everything's in stage 1, and it's going to be in stage 1 for a while. I should probably just go ahead and buy another round of stage 1 grit because I have plenty, but everything's going to take a while. Excuse me, this cold is horrible. So we're going to get everything rinsed off, and then we're going to inspect, spoiler, nothing's ready to move on in this batch. There's some that are getting really, really close. But everything still had just little cracks or little divots, things that needed to be maybe worked out a little bit longer. But I feel like some of these are going to be ready to go, and not too soon, but maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, like I said, as I'm expecting to get those rocks on Saturday, so I'll be starting them next week. You'll see them in next week's video, and which means I'm gonna, since everything's still in stage 1 here, I'm probably going to put the Amethyst on hold. Since I've tumbled Amethyst before, I like to keep fresh stuff in my videos. So I'll probably put the Amethyst on hold and start the competition rocks. I think it's called Dead Camel Jasper, I think is what they said it was. I don't remember. It's a jasper of some kind. And so we'll start those next week. Like I said, do some pre-grinding if I can. If not, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I still have plenty of time to get everything tumbled before August. So you have to send them back by August. So that's what my plan is. All right, so nothing was ready to move on, and this barrel is within acceptable filling range, maybe on the low end, but I'm not too worried about that. So we're just going to put in the borax and stage 1 grit, and then tumble this for a week. All right, now on to the Amethyst. Like I said, you're not going to see Amethyst after this week for a while because I'm going to put it on hold to do the competition stuff. But this is regular Amethyst and banded Amethyst, and I'm trying a new to me technique. I'm sure I'm by far not the only person that does it. I've never really seen anybody talk about it, but that's what I'm going to do. So after I get these rinsed off, as I'm going through them, if I think something might be ready to move on, I'm going to put it off to the side. Instead of dropping it in my cup like I normally do, I'm going to put it off to the side. And then after I've gone through everything, I'm going to dry each piece off and look at it completely dry. Well, not completely dry, but dry enough. I feel like I can, in some rocks, not in all of them, but in some rocks, I see the more fine surface cracks a little easier when they're dry as opposed to when they're wet, especially when they're this wet. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to take a break before my voice gives out completely, and I'll be back when the sorting is done. All right, so that is the last of the sorting. You can see I've got about 4 or 5 pieces here that I want to take a closer look at. So I'm just going to dry them off and then immediately start seeing things that I didn't see when they were wet. So I am being extra particular. There, past me would have just thrown these in because they're good enough, but not quite. I think these can be better. I'm having to find a balance between just moving things on to move them on and keeping things until they're absolutely too perfect and that when they're never actually going to get to that perfect stage. So that's kind of my goal now, is to just be a lot more patient with my tumbling, not moving things on just because I'm tired of looking at them in stage 1 anymore. So anyway, this needed a little more rock to fill up, and I still have more. I don't know why this seems to be going on forever, but we are gonna just keep these in stage 1. I'll probably have Amethyst in stage 1 for a while once I bring it back. It's only gonna be gone until I have another barrel open, which is probably gonna be the Sardonyx in a couple of weeks. Who knows? And then finally we have Unakite. I'm going to do the same thing again with this, where as I'm sorting, I'm going to pull things aside and then look at them dry. So we are just going to rinse everything off. And this has some opal in it for filler. And I'm going to add some more filler to this because this stuff is wearing down pretty nicely, but there's still some cracks in it, some things I'm not happy with. And who knows if those things are actually ever going to come out, but we're going to keep trying. So, again, I'll be back once the sorting is done. All right, sorting is done there. I had about 3 rocks I wanted to take a closer look at, and these actually all look really good. So I didn't see anything that I felt would benefit from additional tumbling. So all 3 of these rocks are actually going to move on into the stage 2 bin. It's hard to tell with this rock sometimes because of the coloration. Sometimes when I'm looking at it, it looks like there's a crack there because of the darker lines. but when you actually feel it and look at it closer, it's fine. So that's something interesting. So this is, I forgot that I have all this like mixed rock from the rock shed that I like to get. So this is what I'm going to use for filler here. It's 7 and under hardness, so it should be fine to use as filler. I do it a lot. But anyway, so now we're going to add in the borax, 3 tablespoons of stage 1 grit, and then this is ready to go for another week. So looking forward to starting those competition rocks next week, and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you back next week.